What's good, YouTube land? Turn the radio on and get your saxophone ready. It's time for some smooth jazz. So this is Studio Series Jazz. It was one of the ones I've had the hardest time actually getting a hold of. Because everywhere that's selling in retail is, at least near me, has only had them in pre-orders or already pre-ordered by other people. So I just went online and said, fuck it, buy it from their website. I'll pay a little bit extra, but it's worth it to actually get him. Because it's jazz. Don't you want jazz? I certainly wanted jazz. So there's a nice picture of jazz right there. Obviously, the stuff about the movie. And then the Transformers logos and the Generations logo. And yeah, we know all this stuff by now. Standard 86 studio box. Aw, look how happy Jazz is. He's number 1. Yes, he is. Well, actually, he's number 14. But we'll get into that later. Think of Jazz. What a happy guy. And take this out, and we'll grab his gun. Put it off to the side amongst my pile of action figures that never mind that. And we get we get a backdrop, which is Jazz's station on Moonbase 1, which is a very nice thing. You got a computer there, you got stuff. I guess it was nice before Unicron attacked it. So, who knows? No, I think that's Cybertron right there. But, yeah. Very nice. I might actually use that for Jazz, just standing at his computer. So, here is Jazz, and he is pretty amazing. I'm already going to say that right off the bat. I really like this guy. Just as a toy in general. Let's look at that face sculpt. We finally have a proper Jazz head sculpt. Honestly, the closest we've gotten recently was Power of the Prime's Jazz, who, honestly, I let slide because it's Jazz, but now we have a proper, completely G1 faithful Jazz. This guy, well, he's going to stay on Elita. I believe the combined form is called Elita Infinite. Okay, from what I recall, the combined form Elita 1, Power of the Prime's Elita 1, has a different combined name, whether it's with all 4 or the female Limbots or with anyone else. With any other characters, I believe it's just Elita Infinite. Like, they spelled infinite, but like with ones, one fin want, which is stupid. And I don't remember its other combined name, but Jazz, he's gonna stay as an ARM forever until I probably won't get the other female Autobots to finish that. Or maybe I will just to waste money, but yeah, if I'm gonna nitpick, and I do call myself a toy reviewer on YouTube, so I do kind of have to because it comes with. I wish his facial expression was the happy smile on the box, because that sort of indiscriminate, like indistinct face just doesn't fit him. I wish he had his smile. Oh, I might as well mention this. The backpack, while it is a bit, it's not the cleanest backpack. Well, actually it is, considering what it's composed of. It's not the smallest backpack. But in the package, the doors are folded out, and the inner panel is stretched out. So he's packaged like this. And thankfully the instructions, like I can figure out what to do right away without the instructions, but like the instructions do tell you to fold everything in. What they don't tell you is it's mostly translucent plastic. And like this hinge, I don't think is gonna break because the integral part that's the hinge is actually solid plastic, but I am worried about those two hinges right there. Because like I couldn't figure out what to do, right? Like I couldn't figure out which way the panel goes in. It goes in like this. I was trying to fold it in, like try to flip it around like that because you can. But the thing that worries me the most is this. Is like it didn't actually do it, but like the worrying those hinges really just those hinges worry me. But other than that, very, very nice robot mode. Very accurate to Jazz. It's weird to think of Jazz without his door wings, you know? Because like the original, when you think of Jazz, like that's kind of one of his outstanding features. Like kind of classic Autobot design it's become of the doors as wings. Like his G1 toy did that. His original Classics toy did that. But when you actually look at Jazz's animation model, he does not have door wings. This is actually accurate, much more accurate than the door wings. This guy doesn't have the door wings. The only other Jazz I have, which is probably sitting in a box somewhere, is War for Cyber or Fall of Cybertron Jazz, who's okay, but eh. So I don't know. Yeah, just one thing to mention. Other than that, other than the backpack, he's clean. Although no, he's very clean because these I wouldn't consider kibble because they add to his look. He's a tiny bit hollow in the shins, or the yes, the shins. Those are the shins. But overall, I'm just really happy with this robot mode. It's nice and solid. It looks good. It finally is the most accurate Jazz we've had. So it's just nice to have Jazz as a character. This is at the point where I would make a roundabout joke about the wrestler Jazz if I actually had a joke to put here. But I just, Jazz is an awesome wrestler because she's freaking still going. She's still wrestling for TNA at 48 years old. So I just want, something else with the with the awesome name Jazz. Give it a little spotlight. A little say, hey, good job, Jazz. And I've already made a reference to jazz music, so I'm not going to do that again. But Jazz, he basically follows up with the name Jazz. Like he's a happy-go-lucky fella who's I believe what's his exact position? What was it? Oh, come on. Special. Why did my voice do that? I think he's referred to as he's Optimus Prime's right hand man, but he's also the special ops. What is it? Okay, hold on. I was looking at this. Wasting time. Do 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 do. Padding. Ah. Oh yeah, this Jazz does not apparently have a shoulder-mounted rocket launcher, which I'm guessing is interesting. Oh come on. Just go back. I was. Yeah, he's a special. His position is special operations head. Okay, so that's basically his job is head of special ops. Although apparently he does like every kind of Earth music, not just jazz. And he has a tendency to incorporate human slang into his speech. So, Jazz, pretty cool dude. The toy then, articulation wise, he can certainly pull off some poses. So he has a ball jointed neck, which has a very lovely range of motion. You can look up that high, down that high, tilt side to side, just quite a bit of nod, as much as he needs, and then the prerequisite swivel. Shoulders on a hinge that can also go out that far. All the way around, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, elbow. Yes, knee, elbow, which is not something, but you can go 90 degrees. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a wrist swivel due to his transformation. I wish he had a wrist swivel. Waist swivel actually does not get impacted by the backpack at all. The backpack freely gets out of the way, which makes me forget that I wish it was pegged in. Like it could peg in, like it. There's nothing actually for it to peg into because it's just like where it sits. There's not enough anything to connect into anything. So, oh well. You could use this point of like this transformation joint if you want as a sort of point of articulation. So you can go up like that if you want and down a bit, but like it's not intended, so I'm not sure if you want to count it. Hips can go full forward, full, just about that far backwards. Do a very good split, and your thigh swivel right here. You do get a double jointed knee. The main joint for articulation purposes goes to about 90, and then you have that joint if you need that much more tiger knee action. It does peg in, though. So, that is something. And you do get an ankle pivot, very deep pivot, like unnecessarily deep pivot. You do get a bit of downward hinge for transformation, but you also get, if I can get it past the, I don't know if this is intended, and I hope it is, because if not, I'm breaking the toy, but that, you get a bit of upward toe, if you can get it past that little stopping point right there. I don't like that sound, but yeah, it doesn't feel like I can do it on his left foot. There it goes. That is that's kind of a scary noise. Okay. But yeah, Foe's abilities solid. It does everything almost. Like I wish he had the wrists. Let's do more comparisons. Here he is with Cup, fellow Studio Series wavemate, drinking from his sippy. And here he is with Blur, which just makes me wish. Actually, that's another thing. I wish Jazz had some light piping. As much as I do like the powder blue visor, I do wish it glowed pretty nicely. Pretty. I guess we might as well give him his gun, which he finally has a highly droppable rifle. But he finally has a rifle that's a decent size, because for so long I've only had a Jazz, the Fall of Cybertron Jazz, which is a pathetically tiny pistol. But this, nicely painted in silver, looks good. Has a decently long barrel. Do I have an effect part lying around? If I did, I could show you that. I believe this barrel is yes, compatible with the effect part. So pew pew, plastic muzzle flash, pew pew. It's also got pegs on the sides, and he does have a few ports on his body. A few meaning. Wait, didn't? Oh, I swear I thought he did. I thought he had ports on his shoulders, but he has ports on the bottoms of his feet. I guess for armor, if you want to do that kind of thing. Slight compatibility with. Yeah, that's actually the only. His only other 5mm ports besides his hands are on the bottom of his feet, which are only useful in robot mode because they get folded up, covered up in vehicle mode. So, oh, you can also plug it into his back for a sort of storagey flavor if you want. Yep, that's just about it for his robot mode. Now, transformation is one of those ones where I honestly, I enjoy doing it so much that just looking at him makes me want to transform him. Because like think about the other two here, Blur and Cup. Like Cup and Blur, like I want to just transform this guy more. I don't know if that makes sense. So we can start by rotating these car bits up. They kind of soft tab into place, sort of right about right about there, and then fold the feet in, and you can. He's using the blur, and the good old Combiner Wars limb fold in. So you just fold his legs up and peg them together. They sort of peg in at the spoiler back there. And then fold his chest up. At this point, if you want, you can unfold his backpack and get it situated and ready. And then I feel like they took the idea from how this guy works slightly with his folding inner chest panel. So you fold that piece, and then you see you push in his head. Actually, where is yes? Yep. You push in his head, so it's all the way right there, and then fold in his fisties. Rotate. No, rotate the other way. So the biceps or the hands are facing this way, as if you're like that, and then fold them in, and you can also fold out that panel if you want at this point. And I missed basically the most important step. Where's this silver midsection? You actually rotate it all the way around just by itself. It's on a low internal gear there, or an internal little. No, I wanted to do the internal table or the. No, what was I going? Whatever. An internal gear there, or an intern table. I couldn't figure out a good way to make that work. But then you fold the arms in like that, and then you cover everything with the vehicle mode, the robot mode backpack, peg it in back here, and each door pegs into its respective arm. Like it pegs in like that. Snap it in there. and you've got Jazz in his alt mode. And I kind of love this alt mode. It's such a nice car. It is a Porsche. What is the exact model Porsche? It's just, I don't know. It's 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 a very cute car, I guess. Is a good way to, maybe not the best way, but like that's the first word that comes to mind. Is this toy car? It's just really cute. Like it's very solid, definitely. Like everything looks tight as can be. There's really not many egregious panel lines. Like there is quite a bit of detail, which guess I didn't show off as much in the robot mode. You can still see some of it here, like his shin, his silver shins, and his black and blue undies. He's very much a panda with some extra blue and red. Or no, and so I'm reading TF Wiki, and that's literally the. Don't be racist. Be like a panda. They're black, white, and Asian. And that reference doesn't really work for Jazz because he's more than meets the eye. Did it. Okay, he's a Porsche 935 Turbo. So I'm guessing he's probably a race car given his blue and red striping, but I really like this alt mode. It's the first one it's the most accurate one, at least that I own. And hilariously, you can fold down his feet because if you've ever watched like a G1 commercial, Jazz literally jumps or like he hops when he converts from robot to car mode. So in that kind of, I guess, vein, he could still hop. He could little hop in his car mode. It's adorable. I really like this car mode. So on the sides of his doors, he's got the number 14, which if we take a look at this guy, why am I transforming this guy? Because I have to put him back in R mode later. We already know the issues with this guy. I don't really feel the need to go into them. But, come on. So what the thing I'm trying to say is they switched out Jazz's number 4 for the number 14 for a couple main reasons. I believe one is to get around copyright issue. Something to do with I don't know why it didn't stop them with this guy. Like why they're suddenly so concerned about his number. I was again reading TF Wiki. Hold on. What was the But it's also a sneaky reference because in the original Diaclone, Jazz was the 14th toy made, supposedly. Where is the That's False Cybertron, that's in Power of the Primes. There we go. Yeah, to avoid licensing issues. Oh, okay. And also, the toy that would be, Jazz label is number 14 in the Diaclone toy. Also, in the original Transformers catalog, he was labeled as the 14th figure, so I kind of like that little bit of sort of a little reference idea. Like, that's a very nerdy reference to put in, and I like it. Here, let's give a comparison between the two Yazzes. So you can just see how much better this one is at actually looking like Jazz. There. So, we've got weapon storage, if you must. It just kind of sits up there, or you can put flat down. Even though it doesn't look much more subtle, it is a bit closer to the, like, a little bit cleaner than, I guess, just standing on top. Yeah. That looks a little bit that looks goofy. This looks, I don't know, I guess slightly less goofy. Not really, but it just hugs a bit tighter. And he rolls pretty well, although the right wheel on mine is a bit stuck. I keep prying it out and hoping it'll, like, unstuck itself, because the others roll freely. But this one is, oh yeah, stuck, unfortunately. Other than that, I mean, I guess you could complain about the large amount of visible robot underneath, like especially the head doesn't have anywhere to go, which is really unfortunate, but I honestly don't mind, because this is Jazz's design. This is it was going to be this way the whole time. Like, there's no way to avoid, the way Jazz transforms, there's no way to avoid having his robot bits hiding underneath the car to make the car look as good as it does right here. And it's definitely the best Mr. Yaz has ever looked. So, although, also, I mean, he doesn't even have a place for a license plate, but he kind of does right there. I can imagine the license plate being something like, "We are AT4." But also, I didn't even mention the Autobot badge there. But I don't know. I really like this toy. Like, it's a really good toy to just pick up and play with. Because, like, just look at him, I can't help but want to transform him. And that's probably the best thing you can say about something that's called a transformer, is that it makes you want to pick it up and transform it. And, like, both modes are solid, conversion's fun. I don't know what else I can say about it, really. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Like, definitely. Even if you have another Jazz, this is the best Jazz. I don't know any Jazz artists, so I can't make any other Jazz references, but this has been Smooth Jazz FM, coming to you from Planet Cybertron. So tune in next time, but until then, keep it weird. See ya, bye! Yeah. Bye-bye.